are now at Rebels Roost Emporium, which is an antique shop. I'm gonna head in, I'm gonna ask for permission to film, and if I get permission, you will be seeing this video. Let's see what we can find. Here we go. Well, in today's video, I'm picking up where I left off yesterday, and if you haven't seen that video, you can find a link to it down in the description. But we start here in this booth, and you can see there's some Vantelligen Hugger salt and pepper shakers. Typically, they don't have a very high resale value, but the ones that I look for are the Mermaid and Sailor, and also the Bunny Peekaboo salt and pepper shakers. Those ones can sell for pretty good money. This booth did have 20% off, so I did glance through here to see if anything would catch my eye. And then up the stairs here, you can see they had a lot of metals on display, some primitive cookware. The glass was placed right in front of the window, which I liked because you could see the light shining through it. There were some Pyrex fridges. Unfortunately, the price was not at a point where I could buy it for resale, but it was still pretty fairly priced. And it was 15% off. There was some more glass down on the bottom shelf, and I did look through it. There wasn't really much there that I could buy and sell for a profit, but it was very pretty glass. Now this case, I couldn't walk by without taking a look. It was 25% off, and I probably could have bought a few pieces out of here for resale, but I was being a little bit lazy and asking for the key. So I was just admiring the beautiful sparkly glass things that were in the case. I especially liked this, and I liked the pink and white swirl, the slag glass, and it's a piece I'd never seen before, so I was curious about that. And now we're going down the stairs. If you've ever been to this antique mall, you probably know how maze-like it is. It's very maze-like. It's easy to get lost. Now, I'm looking in these cases I normally don't look into because it's almost Valentine's Day, and I'm trying to find something for Andrew for Valentine's Day. He's really into the military stuff, especially Gettysburg souvenirs, so I'm trying to find something. And of course I find a lamp, which is not really his thing. It's more my thing. But I really liked this lamp. Here in this booth, they had a lot of stuff on the back shelf, and I kind of zeroed in on this octopus here. I don't think it was very old. It was a tea light holder, but I did like the design on the front. Of all the things on the shelf, that is what attracted me. An octopus. Also, this mug here in the back, I did pull this out and get a closer look at this. The bottom was marked Montana 1977. That's not something I'm real familiar with, so I did pass on that. That figurine there looked to be Cinnabar, but I picked it up and turned it over, and it was a carved wood, and I think it was just dyed red. Or maybe I just really need glasses. Now I descended into the basement level. And they have a lot of militaria down here. As you can see, a lot of relics and World War I, World War II, and Civil War items. You can see there is a relic case there. But those are all things that I know Andrew would prefer to dig up himself because those are dug relics. And he does a lot of metal detecting and finds those things on his own. So that's why it's so hard buying for him, because he would much rather find it on his own. Now in this case, there was a whole eclectic mix. This case looked promising as far as Andrew's Valentine's Day gift. They did have some points in there. They had some Civil War bullets, and you can see some more points. I really thought that Mayan lizard was neat. But I have a really hard time with those because I never know whether or not they're authentic or not. That Victorian box in the back, I really liked that. I noticed this painted egg in the back, and I did pick this up to check it out and see if there was a price on it. And unfortunately, there was no price on this piece. Of course, I picked the one piece without a price because that's just how it works. I also noticed this plate up here. It was redware. You guys know I love redware. It had a bunny on it. I turned it over. It was made in Mexico. These also appeared to be made in Mexico. However, I could not see a mark on the back. They were marked, but because of the black glaze, I had a hard time reading it. I did notice a couple glass pieces on the top of this shelf worth pulling out. This was one of them. It was a marigold carnival glass. It was kind of just a small little compote, and I did look at that. Also, I decided to check out this vase here. I liked the powder blue. It was $8, and it was marked on the bottom Westmoreland. I passed on that as well. You can tell I'm being a little picky today, and it might be because we've been spending so much at auctions that I'm being a little picky. I probably still could have bought that and made a profit on it. Now here I found another bunny plate, and this one I really liked. It was a salt glaze, and it was marked on the back Mummert. For some reason it is not focusing at all for you, and I'm not sure why. But it is marked Becky Mummert on the back, and I decided to take that one with me. I also found this blue opaline cup, and it appears to have some age. I'm not sure if it's French, but I decided that I would also take this little cup. This vase right here, I have seen this before and I couldn't think of where I had seen it. So I turned it over to see if there were any markings on the bottom, any clues, and I didn't see anything there. And so I passed on it despite a feeling that I had about it. And that's fine. Somebody else might come along, might find it, might grab it. We have bought and sold one of these before. I also wanted to turn over this rabbit and see if there were any markings on the bottom of that because it kind of reminded me of English china. We've got a set of Belique here, a creamer and sugar set. It has the green mark on it. They used 3 separate green marks, and I'm not sure which green mark that is, but it was $29 for the set, and I could not make a profit on that. This back here was $25. I loved the green of this dish, and I actually considered this carnival glass dish, but at that price point, I couldn't do it. I really deliberated though. It was a hard decision. I noticed this picture with the rabbits on it, and I thought that maybe it could be Dedham pottery, I believe is what it's called. And the only reason I'm aware of it is because I walked by it once in a video and all my viewers let me know about it. So now when I see bunnies on pottery, I have to look at it. It's not a bad thing. I learned a lot from my viewers. This looked like Louisville stoneware, and sure enough, it was Louisville. It was marked on the bottom. And that's the moment that I realized that this case had some Gettysburg souvenirs in it, which is perfect for Andrew because that is exactly what I was looking for Valentine's Day. He's very hard to buy for, but he loves collecting Gettysburg souvenirs, and so this was perfect. I ended up collecting quite a few pieces because I didn't know which ones he had, and I wanted to make sure I at least got one that he didn't already have. And so I bought a lot of them. And actually, when I gave them to him, he told me, I actually don't have any of these. So I did okay. This plate I wasn't sure of. I do think that he has this plate, but he does not have this plate. He does now, but he did not have this plate. He says that I probably paid up a little bit for it because I didn't take the price tags off because I didn't realize the price tags were on it. I somehow missed this bunny the first time I walked by. It was Fitz and Floyd. You can see there they had it priced for $60. I'm always looking for Fitz and Floyd. And then I ventured into the attic. And this is where all the glass resides, apparently. And I'm so glad that I made a trip up there. I found this beautiful quilt and I was kind of obsessed with it. I loved the embroidery on it. The price on it was a little bit too much for me to buy and flip for a profit, but it was absolutely stunning. It took me a while to find the price. I think it was $100 and something. This satin glass rose bowl, I did like this. It was $25. And I feel like it was priced just right. I don't think that I could have bought it and flipped it. I was really attracted to the design on this Nippon cup and saucer, but I have so much inventory right now that I am being a little bit more selective in what I pick up. Now I've noticed the Fostoria heirloom bowl from across the room, and you can see it here, Fostoria heirloom console, $32. That's a pretty fair price for it. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the opalescence on it. Of the two vases, the one that I liked the most was here on the left. And I liked the contrast of the blue with the red. It was $21, which I thought was great with 15% off. And I believe that this could be Czech glass. I'm not sure that it's Murano with those colors, but I could be wrong. I'd have to do a little bit more research or just list it as art glass, but I absolutely love it. This one as well, I pulled it out to look it over. It did have a cloudy bottom, and even though I liked the colors, it was only $18. I liked the blue and red one more. I also found the praying hands, so I get a point for that. I'm just winning all by myself. We've got a Gillinder and Sons Lion condiment jar. They had $125 on it. This is similar to the one we found at Goodwill a few weeks ago. I noticed a mug sitting back there and I really liked the design of it, so I did pick it up and check out the bottom, and it was marked Japan on the bottom, which was a little bit unexpected. I didn't think it would be marked Japan, but I liked it regardless. And that's when I walked into the room full of glass. I mean, all the rooms have been full of glass, but this caught my eye and I absolutely loved it. It was $40. I couldn't believe it. I totally missed that giant crack that you probably noticed right away. I did take it up front, and when I set it down on the counter up front, that's when I noticed the crack. So I did pass on it after having noticed the crack, but right then and there, I did take it up front. I also noticed this latticino piece here in the case, and I did decide to try to figure out how to open this and get it out. It was a very tricky cabinet. I mean, I go into a lot of tricky cabinets, but this one was especially tricky. I pulled it out, checked out the bottom. It was $54. It was 20% off, but I just wasn't totally comfortable at that price point. These figurines I thought were absolutely adorable. I loved the fun colors. They were $10 to $20 each. There was some more glass down here. It was a little bit overwhelming. You can see there's another Fostoria heirloom bowl down there. They have $100 on it. It is 20% off. That one looks as though it would glow under black light. You know, I've never really tested it. The Fostoria heirloom under blacklight. I don't know if it glows under blacklight. It looks like it would. I liked this vase up here on the top shelf, and I decided to pull it down, and then I put it back up, and you didn't see it. But this right here, this has a Murano sticker, and this could be deceiving, but in Italian it actually says made in the style of Murano. It is not Murano. A lot of people see that sticker and assume, oh, this is Murano. It says Murano, but if you read Italian, you would know it says made in the style of Murano, and it's not actually made in Murano. This vase up here, I also liked this one with the applied glass on the outside. It did have a cloudy bottom as well. And then I found this, and I absolutely fell in love with this piece right here. It was faceted, it was beautiful. It was $94.50, 20% off. I just couldn't really pick it up. I mean, it weighed probably 15 pounds. It was 15 pounds of glass, and you can see the bottom is polished. It was an absolutely stunning piece of art glass. And I kind of went back and forth about it, but inevitably I stuck it back on the shelf and I walked away. It was a hard decision to make, but I did it. Got an Epergne here for $79.20. I actually have one of those listed right now. And then we have the Cordy, this beautiful Cordy figurine by Bolslaw Sibis, and it was $36. I thought it was beautiful. A lot of the times they're very chipped up, but she was in really good condition. Now, I did inevitably go back for the Valentine's Day basket to put Andrew's treasures in for Valentine's Day. All right, well, our total spend here at Rebels Roost was $182. I feel like a big chunk of that was for Andrew for Valentine's Day, and that's perfectly fine. I'm really excited to see his reaction for that stuff. I never know what pieces he already has, but I know that he doesn't have very many of the green pieces, so I know that I at least did okay on that. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Later.